Myself and my wife purchased a small boat in 1997, and we crossed the Atlantic Ocean and then sailed on to Brazil. And on this channel there'll be a lot about that. So one morning in Brazil we decided to just take a walk, and soon we were surrounded by about 7 or 8 kids between the ages of probably 7 to 10 years old, and they were quite inquisitive, and they started talking a lot. I couldn't understand a word, because in Brazil, if you've been, you'll know that they don't talk a lot of English, and well, our Brasileiro wasn't good at all. But I had my little dictionary, so one of the kids said, aonde, aonde. So I realized that meant, where are you from? And I answered them and I said, Afrika do Sur. And they started talking excitedly amongst each other. And the one looked at me and he said, no preto, no preto, no preto. And he did that. And I translated to my wife and I told her, I said, he just said that we are not from South Africa because we are not black. And this was actually quite astonishing. And I immediately thought to myself, where does this belief that he holds, where does this come from? Now, I tried my best to convince them that we are really from South Africa. And the more I did that, the more they just didn't want to hear at all. They were totally blind to hearing that they can be wrong. They were adamant that they were right. They started saying, no Afrika do Sur, no preto, and then they said Alamo. Now, translated, that's German. And they were sort of like right, because my ancestors were from Germany. But I was born in South Africa. Now, how on earth can one become so adamant in your belief that when the truth stares you in the face, you still do not want to believe that? Now, perception at its meaning and at its core will tell you that it is through the senses. We perceive something to be such through our senses because we see, we feel, and we hear. So in our formative years, a lot of the beliefs that we will hold firm in our lives would start to become part of you, part of your roots. So when I was small, I had a little tricycle, and I could never believe why that bike made me bleed such a lot. I would go into anything and everything on a daily basis. I could never understand what on earth was happening. I also thought that it was extremely clumsy, because even not on the bike, I would just walk into stuff. And I never knew why. Now, when I got to school, the nurses came to check us out from a medical point of view. And the one nurse said, please tell me, what do you see on the whiteboard? And I looked at her and I said, what whiteboard? So they soon found out that I was sort of like half blind. I had, at that point in time, 23% sight left in my left eye, and I proceeded to get glasses. And what an amazing experience when I put that stuff on. Now, coming back to beliefs, you know, growing up for me, in terms of sight, there was no reference. I never knew how other people could see and what was 20/20 vision. All that I knew was my belief of what I saw, which was an illusion of truth. Because it's only when you become aware of stuff and you have a reference point in life that you can change. Now, with that, it has its own caveat. If we listen too much to what negative people have got to say, we will absorb all that negativity, and that negativity will lead us to change our perceptions. And as soon as those perceptions change, they are going to affect our beliefs. As soon as your beliefs are negatively impacted, you will change, but negatively so. Now, just back to beliefs. I have found that the stronger your belief, the more adamant you are about something, the less likely you will be to change. As an example, if you are adamant that other races are no good, that other races mean you harm, that you should fear all other races or nations, then you have not a moderate outlook, but a very extreme one. If we have a look at a scale from being liberal to extremely conservative, now all our beliefs that we have would fall in amongst one of those two. If your beliefs are extreme, whatever that belief may be, that belief may be sexist, it might be racist, it may have to do with simple stuff like food. If you believe that you won't eat horse meat because they are pets, then that would be a belief. However, that belief might fall somewhere in the middle, that you will know that if you go into survival mode and that's the only thing left to eat, then you will change your mind. Now, I also want to tell you that whatever you believe and whatever your perception is, that you are right. Whatever you believe, you are right. I may sit here and I may totally disagree with your belief. However, I must admit that you are right. Your perception becomes your belief, your beliefs becomes you. As I said, you create yourself every day by those beliefs. Why don't diets work? Well, they do, and they do work for a lot of people. I believe that diets fail because the person on the diet will concentrate on the method, and they will not concentrate on changing the belief that has led to the obesity. What am I talking about? They will go, carnivore diet is amazing. And they go, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have the willpower, I'm going to stick it out this time, and I'm not going to fail. And they fail. Why? Because again, they have concentrated on that and that little word, willpower. Now, I'm here to tell you, it's much easier to not reinvent the wheel. It is easier for you to work on changing your beliefs and then putting positive affirmations in your processing unit, so that you first change the belief, and then your brain will say, hey, if you tell your brain, I am so pleased and grateful that I am at my ideal weight, your brain will start saying, hey man, that's not true. However, I'm starting to see what's going on, that you want to go from here to over there. So I'm going to start working, internalizing this process, that I will start spitting out how you will go from here to there. Then once you are ready, dieting will be much, much easier. The willpower will be gone because you don't need it. You need to change your belief about how you see your body. You need to change your belief about how you see obesity. You need to sit down and ask yourself, where does all these negative beliefs come from? So that you can go back onto those beliefs and say, I don't believe that anymore. As soon as you do that, gradual change will take place. Now, back to the scale. Unfortunately, in the times that we live in, there's a lot of polarization. There's a lot of social media out there. There's a lot of lies. There's a lot of half-truths. People don't even blink anymore before they lie. It's not like when I grew up. We tended to be honest and integrity because that's the way that we were brought up. But we seem to be in a different era. Now, the polarization is very unfortunate because if you were a moderate in the past, and let's take an example of politics. So you were a moderate. As soon as you get recommendations from YouTube, you get recommendations from Facebook, you get recommendations from X or whatever platform you happen to be on, those recommendations would mainly be there to strengthen your belief. So you will look, as an example, at yoga. Now, 70% of your recommendations would be other yoga videos. And I'll tell you how wonderful yoga is, and I'm sure it is. And I'll tell you all those things. So you will now go from a moderate belief that yoga is good for you, into an extreme, that this is it. This is the only thing that will work, nothing else will work, and I'm adamant that this is it. You may also go, nah, yoga is no good. I can see that it won't work, but that will be because you have taken your perception initially and you have started looking at the world through that lens. Now, as soon as you change your lens, your belief, you will change. I said in another video of mine, I cannot change you, nobody can. You will change when you are ready to do so. It took me 3 tries to stop smoking. I went on a willpower thing, I went on medication, and then eventually, one day I decided that, I'm going to stop for me. I'm going to stop because I want to. I started putting in the affirmations, and this is what my brain started spitting out. And my brain started saying every morning when I woke up, you are a healthy non-smoker. Initially, when I was still smoking, I'll get up in the morning and I'll go, hey, where's the cigarette? I am a smoker, I need a cigarette. Where's my coffee, where's my cigarette? Now waking up, I went, I'm a healthy non-smoker. And that was it. It really was that easy. Yeah, the first 10 days wasn't. So I'm not telling you that there will not be sacrifice. But I'm telling you that you can change. And the thing to start with would be those beliefs that you hold of yourself. If it's something where you are moderate about, that change can really be easy. And in this process, if you have not gone through the process of affirmations, or what is called the power of attrition, I would recommend that you start with small changes. Get that first eureka moment and say, you know, now I know how the process works. And then take it from there. I'm not trying to change you into something that you don't want to be. It's crucially important that before you start with a process like this, that you sit down and say, what do I want? How do I want to look? What would be the ideal new me? Now, you will get a lot of feedback from other people, but that may not be what you want. If you like my content, would you please motivate me by liking and subscribing so that I can make more value-added content like this for you. I would like to end the video by looking at why I said it is the illusion of truth. If you have a look at you where you are now, you are in your own comfort zone, you're living your own life, you believe that you are exactly what you are telling yourself you are. You are a product, as we've seen. You're a product of your perceptions and your beliefs. Now, this is where you are currently. Now, and I also told you that that is your reality and that is your truth. However, that truth is an illusion. Whenever you step out of that comfort zone, whenever you change your perceptions, whenever you change your belief, you will go from here to here. You will over time create another you. Hopefully a better, a bigger version of you on all kinds of levels, whether that's spiritual, whether that's physical. You will become somebody else over time. Now, I'm here to tell you that is within your control. Therefore, it is your current state is an illusion of truth. It is a temporary parking place where you are now, and you are here to become that. That is why this is your illusion of your truth. And this may be your ultimate truth. Is the purpose of life then not for us to go on this journey so that we can become our ultimate truth, so that we can get to ultimate enlightenment? I don't know how that looks for you. I'm just here trying to assist you to go from here to here in the most easiest way that I know how to. Thank you ever so much for watching. I will continue the series, and next we will look at how we decided to leave South Africa on that small boat and the struggles that went with that. I'll see you there.